Right, hi Elms. For English today, we're going to be your waltz is describe events simply and clearly using a range of adjectives. So, for me to do an example, I'm going to be using the Robber Rat Strikes Again news report, but yours is going to be on a to do, and it's about the Three Little Pigs. So, to start with, I'm just going to read you the newspaper report. So, Robber Rat strikes again. A terrible thieving rat has taken food from another animal. The theft happened at about 10 o'clock on Friday morning on the road between Wadden and Nash. Mr. Andy Ant was taking a juicy leaf home to his family when he was stopped by a loud shout. Mr. Ant looked up to see the terrible rat, known as the highway rat, holding a sharp dagger. The highway rat shouted at Mr. Ant to hand over the leaves. I had no choice, said Mr. Ant. I knew my family would be hungry, but I had to give the leaves to the highway rat. The highway rat has been terrorising the highway since 2013. He has stolen from rabbits, squirrels, and other animals. He has not yet been caught by the police. And then we've got a picture here of the highway rat. So, my job now is to try and think of some simple sentences to describe what's happened in this story. So I've got to think about my punctuation, and I would like lots of adjectives. So you might remember that before we broke up, we were doing expanded noun phrases, which is two adjectives describing a noun with using a comma. So to start with, I have chose one that has already been written about the rat in the text. So it says, a terrible thieving rat has taken food from another animal. So in that sentence, I have got terrible thieving rat. So I've got two adjectives and a noun describing the rat. So that's how I could start my short description of this event. So there's a terrible thieving rat has taken food from another animal. It happened on a Friday morning suppose we could describe the morning, couldn't we? It happened on a cold early Friday morning. So we could add that, cold, comma, early. So then in the text it says about Mr. Andy Ant was taking a juicy leaf home to his family when he was stopped by a loud shout. So we could write about Mr. Andy Ant. So far I've got a terrible thieving rat has taken food from another animal. It happened on one cold early Friday morning. Mr. Andy Ant was taking they've put juicy, so we could use a different adjective, couldn't I? So we've taken a juicy leaf home. So a delicious leaf home. So I've got a different adjective used there. So Mr. Andy Ant was taking a delicious leaf home, full stop. The highway rat so he holding a sharp dagger, there's another adjective, and he shouted at Mr. Ant to hand over the leaves. So the highway rat was holding we could have a long, comma, sharp dagger. So we've added a long. So the highway rat was holding a long, sharp dagger when he shouted at Mr. Ant. To hand over the delicious. We could use a different adjective instead of delicious. So we could have to hand over the green, comma, juice. We'll go for the juicy this time. Juicy leaves. So, a short description. A terrible thieving rat has taken food from another animal. It happened on a cold, early Friday morning. Mr. Andy Ant was taking a delicious leaf home. The highway rat was holding a long, sharp dagger when he shouted at Mr. Ant to hand over the green, juicy leaves. So I've got terrible, thieving, adjectives, cold, early. I've got delicious to describe the leaf. I've got long and sharp to describe the dagger. And I have got green and juicy, all in just that short paragraph describing the highway rat events. So, your challenge is, on the to-do, there is a set piece to say what you've got to do. There's 3 challenges, so you might have to... The first one is to just do some short, simple sentences, but I would still like to see some adjectives, at least 2 in sentences. Or you could do a full sentence using more than 2 adjectives. So a bit like what I've done here, the highway rat was holding a long, sharp dagger when he shouted at Mr. Ant to hand over the green, juicy leaves. So that's a nice full sentence, and I've used 2 expanded noun phrases, so I've got 4 adjectives there. And the gold challenge is to use those expanded noun phrases to describe, you're going to be describing the 3 little pigs. Okay, so once you've done your few sentences, just to make a short paragraph to tell me all about the 3 little pigs story, that can be emailed over to me. Oh no, you're going to do it on the to-do, aren't you? So I'll be able to see it on Purple Mash. Okay, have a go.